All right. Well, good morning, everybody. It's right at 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Our core value, and let me introduce, this is Summer. Summer is joining us as a guest today, so I think you met them, and this is one over here. Patty's online there looking at it. Hi, Patty. And then we have a couple more people that have joined us out there as well. I guess I hit the wrong button. Let me do that and do this. There we go. So our core value this week is we are a team of leaders and problem solvers, never bringing the problem without solutions. We're not identifiers. We encourage critical thinking. A proactive approach to handling issues while asking for help is encouraged. It must be done in the context of also thinking of solutions on your own. Before we bring an issue to a problem to a team member, we must first think of ways to solve it. So we're going to be delving a little bit into this today with what we're going to talk about after the market update. But before we get there, we have Ashley Williams with, and how do you say it?
Just Chesmar home. We're under Sekasui House.
Okay.
So the brand is Chesmar.
Okay, well, come on in. And this is Ashley. This is everybody.
Hello. So my name is Ashley Williams. I am a sales consultant for Chesmar Homes. I am primarily assigned to a community out in Joshua. So it's a master plan community. And honestly, my goal is just to meet you guys, introduce myself. I was, kind of speaking with Brian when I first got here. My goal, in all honesty, is just to try to form relationships and connections. I would love to provide benefit to you guys. Also make both of our lives, easier if we can kind of build that relationship to where, if you have somebody that may be looking for a new construction home, pick up the phone, call them and say, hey, I'll call Ashley. Let me see what she has. Like, that's truthfully what my goal is. And then if there's ever a time where, if you guys are looking for places to shoot new content or things like that, I'm always open for that. I always have homes at different stages. I'm willing to host stuff. So we are all over the DFW Metroplex. So I am a part of the West Side community. So I did provide kind of a map where all of our communities are. I can serve as like a liaison. If you have someone that's maybe they don't want Joshua, but maybe Waxahachie, I can always connect you with that sales consultant if what we offer there is a better fit for them. So with Chesmar on the west, we're going to start around 350, and then we have communities that go all the way up into the millions. So we do have a wide range, so we can cater to every type of buyer. I'm actually the furthest south. I'm in Silo Mills, so it's right off of the toll. I'm in Johnson County. So it's Joshua address, but then Godly ISD. So I am in a master plan community with two other builders, but I am going to be just an overview of solid. So I'm actually on the larger home site. So all of mine are going to be 70 foot wide lots. So I'm going to start larger in square footage and in regards to lot size. So we do have already amenities there. We've got the on-site elementary school. It will be like 2,500 homes once it is all said and done. We're just now in, I'm still in phase one. They just opened phase two, which is some smaller lot sizes. So I would say about another 5 years before completion for the community. So if there's any, I just kind of wanted to introduce myself. Anything that you guys see that I could provide benefit, I'm always open. Whether it's hosting, finding a place just to get out and do a meeting, content. I just really want to kind of build that relationship with you guys. And, I always try to think outside of the box. My buyer profile, so I was kind of telling Brian, what I've been seeing for my community, I'm heavy in retired military. I have a lot that are relocating here for that. That's kind of my sweet spot for there. And also people that are relocating and working at Lockheed. That tends to be a good area. It kind of gives them a little bit of that country feel outside of the city, but then quick access. I'm like a little bit over a mile from the toll.
From Chisholm Trail?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, toll. Do you guys have any questions for me or any way that off the top of your head that I could be a benefit or provide any kind of services to you guys or any kind of ideas?
What do y'all work with preferred lenders? Do y'all have incentives?
Yeah.
What is all of that look like?
Yeah, so we do actually have, I know some builders don't have an in-house preferred lender, but we actually do have an in-house preferred lender. Those are typically where a lot of our incentives are tied to. However, we are not going to force someone to use our lender. I always try to get really creative and negotiate if there's some reason. I just had one that was retired military. They're like, hey, we've always worked with Navy Fed. I'm not going to make you switch. So we can always negotiate for that reason and, get, closing costs or whatever. But typically we don't provide closing costs to outside lenders unless there's some sort of situation, that you tend to go with an outside lender. But right now we're offering, it's basically 6% seller concessions on build and inventory. That could be for a rate promo. We've got some that are like a 3.75 arm. We've got fixed at 4.99, and then also covering closing costs as well. So, and especially with me having a lot of like people that are relocating, and let's say if they don't need all the 6% for the rate and closing costs, and they're like, hey, you know what? I'm moving from Vegas. What about a fridge and washer and dryer? I got you. So I always try to get really crafty because everyone's situation is different. So I always try to listen and figure out what that particular client needs. And then, you know, with whatever I have, then we kind of make it work. My price point, I start at $420. I go up to about $517 in my builds. My average sales price for inventory building is going to run between $450 and about $515, $520 is usually kind of where my average purchase prices kind of land.
And so, and how many inventory houses did you say you had?
So right now I have a total of 3 that are 100% complete. One will be ready in about 30 days, and then I have 2 at frame stages. So I always try to have various stages to kind of meet everybody's needs. Some people are like, hey, I don't want to wait 6 months. So 6 months is how for a true build job from like date of contract to completion. It's right at 6 months for me. So some, you know, can't wait 6 months, but then moving ready is not an option for whatever reason, whether it's they need to save or, hey, we're not, you know, relocating there for a few days. So then I always have something. So like the one from Vegas, he's like, hey, I need a little bit of time to save. So he couldn't do moving ready, but I had one that worked for him. That's just completed frame stage. So we kind of pivoted that way. So that gives him enough time, but he still gets the plan that he wants. So that's usually kind of, I feel like I'm always trying to be creative and craft what up, you know, I was like, everybody's different in their situation. So I have a pretty good wide range of being able to make that work.
What is your HOA fees down there?
So it is $1,020 a year, and that includes all the amenities. We've got the first pool, splash pad. There's like a beer garden. That's what they call it. It's like outdoor pavilion with 2 kitchens, bathroom, stocked fishing pond. We have the on-site elementary school, pre-K through 5, and then we've got the second pool going in. There's in the future amenities as well. It just hasn't been finalized on what that'll be. Some people have wanted pickleball and a gym, so that's kind of being in the process of being finalized. But then we also have, which I think it's kind of cool, I've never been in a community that has it, but we have an on-site lifestyle director. So they actually do monthly events for residents, and all that's included with that HOA. So you get a newsletter twice a month telling you what's going on, and it's geared towards everybody. So like we've got a big pool party coming up for the summer where they just did like a mixology class. So anything that's like, I know I was like, well, technically I live in it was like totally, but like anything like that where they just did, or they're doing, I think it's on the 11th when the new Moana movie comes out, they'll do like a movie day. So stuff that's offsite. So anything like that, like movies or the mixology class or something like that, it'll be limited seating, but you just register for a head count. But all those things are already included. There's no additional fees for that. So that's kind of been good, especially for me, where people are relocating, they don't know anyone. So it kind of gives them a way to kind of get out. Like they just did a bingo night. So people are kind of intermingling and things like that. Everybody has, a majority of people have golf carts. So it's very family friendly. I always tell everybody, if you want to get out and meet your neighbor, it's definitely a community to do so. But then I have a lot. For me and my side, the way it's set up, I'm on one side, so I'm on the larger lot. And then we're not mixed in with the other builders. So like to the community, it's all Chesmar.
How big are the lots?
70 by 143.
Oh,
So an average lot's 10,010 square feet for me. Yeah. So that's why I was telling Brian, I get a lot of people that want a pool. So all of my lots will accommodate it. The other side of the community, it's 50 and 60-foot lots. So they're going to be smaller. I'm not on those because my product doesn't fit on those. So I'm going to be on all 70s. At least 2.5 car garages. All of my 2 stories are 3-car garages. That seems to be a popular thing out there. Everybody wants 3-car garages. So all of mine will accommodate that as well.
I was kind of stunned when she was telling me her price point for that size house. And tell them about the 1-story, you go up to 29.
Yeah. So for me, everybody wants a single story. I'm not popular with 2 stories. I get very nervous to even do an inventory just because not a lot of people want them. Because I go all the way up to 2,900 square feet in my largest single story. So I go 2,300, 26, 27, and 2,900. So those tend to be what's most popular. And I was like, I don't want to do stairs. If you can give me everything in a single that I get in a 2, that tends to be what they go. So like my 2 largest ones, it's 4 bed, one's 3 bath, one's 3.5. You still have a game room and you have a study. And so you have all of that in a single. So that tends to be what's most popular for me.
Well, great. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for
Thank you
breaking.
guys for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
cards. Yeah, absolutely.
I will put all your information in Slack, but if you have any cards, you can leave.
Yes,
them.
I'll leave some in there, and like I said, feel free if there's anything that you got, I can be a benefit, it's not just help me sell homes, anything that I can get,
cross sell?
we can.
Okay,
If it's-
at certain stages?
If it's completed inventory, yes, we can, however, I've got pretty good relationships with everybody, I was like, I'm not gonna be, you know, stingy. I'll refer, you know, connect you with that person, especially if it's in a community, like in our acre community, I'm not gonna know all the ins and outs about that, so I'm definitely gonna
Because
refer.
y'all are the community in Parker County that does like, is it like building or?
Mm-mm.
Are we talking about it a couple weeks ago? I thought it was y'all.
I was gonna ask, where is the West Point Park?
So it's brand new. It just opened. So it's right off like 30. It's right in that West Settlement area on that.
I'm trying to see, because it's not so far as Chapel, it's not Chapel Creek. It's before Chapel Creek, it
Yes.
looks like.
Yes.
It looks like it's right
Yeah, on
outside.
the West, because they're in there with
I guess, I don't know
One
where
other-
that is.
one other builder.
You've got the D.R. Horton community, the Lennar out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause all I know of new builds is Chapel Creek, and I don't want to,
Yeah.
I think it is before. It's definitely before Chapel Creek.
I mean.
But yeah, it's more. It's kind of in that White Settlement area, and it just opened. Like we had our grand opening like last month, so it's very new. Yes, ma'am.
with the golf course.
Golf included?
No, not golf course. I would say our Azle community is actually on Eagle Mountain Lake. So it does have lake views. Those are going to be larger lots as well. That one's going to be more. I just had a call the other day. It's not going to be like a master plan community. It's going to be more small. I think we've got like 20 lots in there. But it is right across. You've got the lake views, lake access. Nothing with the golf course.
Okay.
And then we do have one that preserve up in Justin. That one is still under kind of getting ready to get open. I think it'll be done at the end of it's coming like the fall of this year. I'm not for sure exactly what all that they will have as well.
Patty had a question. Patty, you want to come on and ask your question?
Yeah, I was just looking at your website, looking for that West Point, and on your locations on Chesmar, it doesn't have a drop down for Fort Worth. It just has Austin, Central Texas, Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. Is there somewhere else that we can look for Fort Worth?
So it'll be probably under the Dallas location, because we are Dallas. They just split us to east and west for the communities, the way they kind of, so I'm basically like an L, starting with like the preserve, straight down and go out to Waxahachie, then all of that would be the east side.
Okay, Angela.
Okay, thank you. I found it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
And Angela said,
Angela said it looks like it is Chapel Creek.
it's right there. I think I drove by this the other day. It's like one block north of 812.
D.R. needs to know about that community.
It's like a big city block, a big block north of 30 and
Is it
west of
called West
820.
Point Park?
Mark, yes, ma'am. And is there anything with another builder that starts with an R?
It's north of I-30 past and east.
East of Chapel
Okay,
Creek.
perfect. So that's what I thought. Okay, cool. Do you know what
Thank you,
price
Angela.
point they're gonna be
Yes,
at?
yeah, they're gonna start, I think mid-30s. They have two different product lines there. And then they do have a few that are like high 4s, low 5s.
And you did say that y'all had, with the 6% concessions, that there would be like special interest rates that they could get.
Yes, we've got an arm, currently right now we have a 5-1 arm at a 3.75. And then we have a 30-year fixed 4.99. And we have that to where it could actually go as long as it closes by the end of like December 30th. So we've got them to where they can extend out as
Okay,
well.
can I call you for information on that West Point? Like
Yes.
how new is that?
Like brand new.
Like, are there any houses out there yet or no?
The model, and then I think there's I don't know if there's any 100% completed specs, but there are some that's under construction.
Okay,
Yeah. Yes,
Patty?
I'll leave
I'll
ours
just
in.
drive out.
Mhm.
Patty, go
Sorry,
ahead.
what's the earnest deposit?
So it's going to vary for community. They started doing, if it's contingent, 3%. However, I'll be honest with you guys, none of my buyers have that. And so I know that with my community. So I'll be honest, so like for me, mine has always been 7,500, and that's still what I negotiate. Some communities at the lower price points will be 5,000. And just you negotiate. That's what I do. I always like, because none of my buyers are going to have 3% for earnest money. And so I always just try to negotiate for that. And we do have ways to kind of do negotiation on that for like payment, deviation, and then like even payment plan. If there's some sort of guide, like one maybe be pulling half of it from a 401k. Well, that takes time. So I kind of noted, hey, we'll do half at time of contract and then, within the time length. So there is ways that we can kind of get around that and negotiate as long as we have a clear path to get in there.
Well, again, thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
I'll
you
leave
so much.
cards and I have gifts for everybody. I'll say here you guys can get after the meeting.
You're
welcome.
All right. Well, let's move on. So next week, we've got Michael Cordewick and Goosehead Insurance coming in. He called and wanted to sponsor us back in the spring. And so I was like, okay, well, happy to have you. That'll make what, 3 or 4 Goosehead Insurance agents that we have running through here.
Yeah.
So, okay. Then week after next, Danielle will not be here because we're the tax inspector.
I
That's
also will be
okay.
in Florida, so it worked out.
That worked out good. And then Tasha's brother Ryan will be here on July the 29th, and we always look forward to Ryan being here because he's almost so much fun and he brings good food. So I'm working on simplifying the agent hub. If you haven't been there, it's in the Monday night email that you got. It's also linked on the backside. So I'd love for you to take a look at it. If you're having a roadblock in your business, on the agent hub, there is that exact form where you can, how to put this? You can put in the problem that you're having, the roadblock that you're seeing in your own life or business, and it will take you to one of the programs that we have available to you, one of the training platforms. It'll take you specifically to the module that talks about whatever your roadblock is. Try to get that really, really precise. I'm still working on it, so bear with me while I get there, but it is getting there. Lauren had asked for name badges. I now have 3 people that want them. This is what's available, and I'll put this back up on Slack this afternoon. If you'd like a name badge, here are 5 that we have already designs for. They're not perfect on the design, but they come out perfect when they come out on the badge.
Update the first 2. That's the old logo. SI, because I'm not supposed to use the word.
Okay,
These 2 need to be updated. And this is the old logo. These are all the old logos.
okay. Well, that's the ones I have right now.
Okay. I can update those in like a day.
Okay, well, that's on you.
Do you have the link to those?
That is actually a picture.
Okay. You know who those are? They're the files.
The files, I have them in my drive.
Okay. Send me that and then I'll get them updated.
Okay, if we already have the logos, I've got the new logos. I can just change those out. Not a big deal.
You want more?
Yeah. But I think I've got the new logos, everything that we have.
Yeah, it's just the old little A.
Okay,
And we got rid of the spelling.
okay. The keeper of the brand. All right, let's talk about the national update. So trying to make this better for us so that we can actually take something out of this massive information that I bring every week. So Americans are feeling more confident about buying. For the first time since 23, Americans say they'd rather buy than rent, even as mortgage rates remain above 6.5. Purchase loan closing costs also declined nearly 3% from a year ago, signaling improving affordability around the edges. Market continued to reward stability. The Dow reached another record high, while June's job report showed unemployment at 4.2%. Lower oil prices, easing inflation pressures have reinforced expectations that the Fed will leave the interest rates unchanged. This week, we're looking at inflation and the Fed. Investors will watch the Federal Reserve meeting minutes, inflation data, unemployment claims, about what the future rate policy will be. Mortgage rates remain the biggest housing headwind. Any signs of moderating inflation could improve buyer confidence. Confidence, not perfection, is slowly returning to the economy. Buyers, sellers, and markets are adjusting to today's reality instead of waiting for tomorrow's. The local market update. Major North Texas employers continue investing in DFW. A new 442,000 square foot world headquarters is planned for Natera and Capel, following the company's recent $120 million investment in Fort Worth. Continued corporate expansion reinforces that businesses remain confident in North Texas as a long-term place to invest and grow. The DFW growth is driving long-term housing demand. Last week we talked about, watch where the infrastructure goes. That's where the housing is going to be. Large-scale residential and commercial developments continue moving forward across North Texas. Infrastructure and employer investments signal that population growth isn't slowing. The opportunity isn't just today's transactions, understanding where tomorrow's demand will be created. Hopefully, we'll lose about 200,000 people in about 2 weeks because people will be over and we'll be able to drive back on 820 again. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but traffic on 30 and 820 has been nuts for the last 3 weeks. You haven't gone anywhere?
I mean, I went to Belton and it took me 3 hours to get there and back, which is usually an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But
It's been
other than that, no.
it's been a lot of people.
I've been
extra.
taking all the back roads. It's been good. All the way from East Texas back.
Because you went to Palestine.
Yeah, we went Monday morning.
How was it?
We'll see this video.
You took a videographer out there?
We did. Yeah, one of my friends from high school that's a
Okay.
videographer. We took him out there and we did shooting range and fishing and
Oh,
fun.
that's
And we wanted to die. It was 100 degrees and we were in boots and blazers and that was
and shooting video?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but I'm trying to copy some of these luxury
Yeah.
techniques like out of South Texas and like, yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
It may be trash, but we tried.
Your AI prompt is research my city, identify the 5 biggest developments, employers, infrastructure projects, or community investments happening within 20 minutes of me. Explain why each matters to buyers, sellers, and future home values. Thought that was a really good AI prompt that AI gave me, to be honest with you. Just straight up, that one they gave to me because it actually can put you in the middle of everything that's going on in your neighborhood. Here is Clarissa's view, and Clarissa is on this morning. Hello, Clarissa. She said, give me a thumbs up. So here's what it looks like, and what I kind of noticed, and if you kind of look, the price decreases are actually shrinking as the active listings are coming up. So about 3 weeks ago, the green number, especially on the full MLS, was quite a bit further over this way because the decreases were so intense. Does that signal that most people that were gonna decrease or that were overpriced have done so? That's my question, because you can't tell from the numbers on a weekly basis.
Or are people just listing at the appropriate price?
I think that's what's happened.
And not-
And so we had 6,644 new listings in the full MLS over the last 7 days. Sorry, my big head here.
No, I just can't see, honestly.
But then if we look at the 6 counties, I don't know if you guys remember back in February, March, the 6 counties was taking up about 40% of the full MLS. Now we're down to about 25% of the full MLS in our 6 counties that we're watching. You see this? 1,500, 6,600, it's about 25%. I'm sorry, you're right now.
No, you're good.
I'm just going to brace for you.
Corner.
Huh?
That's your corner. I'm joking. Very nice.
Here's the takeaways. Buyers are negotiating again, but they're still buying. Across DFW, price reductions continue to outpace new listings, yet pending and closed sales remain healthy. Buyers haven't disappeared. They simply have more leverage and are expecting homes to be priced for today's market. Pricing is becoming your biggest marketing tool. The strongest listings are still selling. Overpriced homes are requiring multiple reductions. In today's market, pricing correctly creates momentum. Chasing the market almost always costs sellers more. Case in point, I have a house that we priced over in Live Oak on 76108, and we priced it. It needs work. It needs work, and we priced it at $385. They're selling for $430 down the street. Same house. We priced it to sell, but I told them to price it at $365. Now we're going to have to sell probably around $350 because the only comment that we've had from 4 showings is condition is not there. Even at $385, everybody else is selling for $50,000 higher. Condition really makes a difference.
For maintenance.
Well, and there's 9 people living in a 4-bedroom house. And the cultural difference, it's dirty. Even though I had it cleaned, it's still dirty, and it shows dirty. My pictures don't look like that. You see my new pictures?
I didn't, let me go look. Am I gonna be proud?
I think I did it with Bobby Cornelius. He did a fantastic job out on the house you and I were talking about, Taja, on oatmeal, 5001 oatmeal. Okay,
Hello, I might heckling work.
you heckled me in a submission. Local builders update. Builders are expanding in the smaller North Texas community. Rather than concentrating only on large master plan developments, Builders are increasingly opening communities in emerging cities like Anna and Corinth, where buyers can still find affordability, larger lots, and room for future appreciation. It's a sign that North Texas continues moving outward as demand follows available land and jobs. The build to rent is becoming a bigger part of the housing market. We've been talking about this for 4 months. Developers are investing in build to rent communities that offer single family homes with yards and garages, but without requiring buyers to purchase. As affordability challenges continue, this growing segment is creating new options for renters while changing how builders think about future housing demand. I've got a Lennar community it's just west of Saginaw, but they've got 2 sides, and you drive in, this side is for rent, this side is for sale, same houses. Crazy looking to me. To see the exact same house, I can buy it for this, or I can rent it for this.
Line, what do you call that? Line drive, like the renters are over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I brought from here the 3 new home communities my buyer is considering beyond price. Explain the builder, amenities, schools, commute, future development nearby, resale potential, and which type of buyer each community best fits. Just something to get you started. Have you guys seen Roswell? She mentioned that. I actually sold a Roswell yesterday. Super cool, really good price point. We bought it up in Ponder.
What was that neighborhood?
Sorry, they're in a neighborhood, Waterford Park in Weatherford, off of 730. They're in there as well.
Reasonable price
Yeah.
for what you're
In
getting.
fact, I think I'm gonna show one this weekend, actually.
It's actually it's decent. I'd never heard of them until my buyer, I sent what I found to him, and he went and looked at Roswell, and he's like, that's the best deal. And he compared it to MI and to Bloomfield, and he liked the Roswell better.
Are they new?
They're new to Texas. They've only got like certain communities that they're working in, but it's the same thing that Ashley's working. It's that westoplex, north to south westoplex. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today. And this is going to be interactive today, and I'm going to embarrass myself massively. Okay. So what we're trying to do this summer is we're not trying to build a new business for you. We're trying to remove one obstacle at a time, reduce friction on one obstacle at a time. So one better decision, one better habit, or one better conversation equals one less bottleneck to your business. Every successful business has constraints. The market is not your biggest bottleneck, and AI isn't your biggest opportunity. Finding the one thing slowing everything else down is where growth begins. So then I asked, so what's holding me back? And I know probably what's holding me back, but we're going to talk about that. Every business has a bottleneck. Today's goal is to find yours. If you can improve one thing in your business, this is an actual question, interactive. If you can improve one thing in your business over the next 30 days, what would it be?
Time management. Being more consistent on social media.
Okay. Anybody?
Just practicing my systems that I let go for a while.
Okay.
Probably being more constructive with difficult clients.
Being more constructive with difficult clients. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like having the right conversations, saying the right words so that they move forward. Because there's so much objection now, and so much false information out there that people are just very apprehensive.
Okay. Anybody online, you're welcome to chime in. Okay, be quiet. I don't care. Okay. So here's the realtor's funnel. All of our transactions go through every one of these stages. We get a lead, we have conversations, we make appointments, we get clients, we make clients out of the appointments that we generate, and we get contracts and we get closings. If one of these stages is weak, the rest slow down. So if you're really weak in leads, well, then the rest of everything else is going to go slower. If you get to appointments and that's not your strong suit, well, then the rest of this stuff is still going to be slower. Does that make sense? One bottleneck can slow your entire funnel down. So what are the possible bottlenecks for each stage? For leads, you have low visibility, or you have inconsistent prospecting. Oh, I just did that. That's weird. Did you see it move? The mouse moved. Scared me. Sorry. I didn't want to push something I didn't want to push. Conversations, the fear of reaching out, or you have weak follow-up. Appointments, not asking for an appointment. Jana Seal, one of our wonderful realtors out of Mansfield, her big deal is I don't ever finish a phone call without setting the next appointment. That's a great way of thinking about, hey, this is the next time we're going to talk, and this is what we're going to talk about when we do that. Your realtor speech isn't clear enough to earn a meeting. Do you have the market data, the talking points? Do you have a 30-second elevator speech? We've talked about that before. If somebody says, how's the market? What are you going to say? Because they're going to say that. If you put on a name badge and you go shopping, somebody at the checkout is going to go, oh, you're a realtor. How's the market? Every time. And you got 15 seconds to capture their entire attention on what you're about to say. What are you going to say and how are you going to say it? Those are good things to keep in mind. You don't, it's not like homework right now, but something that you should be thinking about. Somebody says, how's the market? Here's what I say. Clients, trust isn't established. Another bottleneck could be poor consultation skills. Contracts, weak negotiation skills, or difficulty handling objections. God bless you. Closings, transaction management, or financing or inspection follow-up. So those are all bottlenecks for each stage. Possible bottlenecks. There are more, many more. So how do you know which questions to ask yourself to identify what is bottlenecking your business? That's the hardest part, is like, this is how I do business. Well, I need somebody else to give me an opinion of what they think about it, but it's probably not going to be Andrew, because Andrew has a completely way of doing business. He might be able to give me insight of things that I'm not doing correctly, or maybe not incorrectly, but just not the way that he does them, and I might see insight with that. Do you have 45 minutes to an hour to spend with me and talk about my business?
Yeah.
Okay, but you see my point.
Yeah.
It's like yes, you can collaborate with somebody and y'all can talk about these things. And getting that outside perspective is really beneficial. All of our businesses have constraints, bottlenecks. The hardest part isn't knowing that they exist. It's identifying the one constraint that could create the biggest improvement if you fixed it. So we're going to let AI interview us. Not because AI knows your business, but because it asks questions you may never ask yourself. Now, I'm going to do something really, really, really fun and very embarrassing, is I'm going to put my information in front of you and show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to close that window there, and I'm actually going to just jump over here. I actually have to present this differently, so guys, wait just a second. Let me get this presented properly. If I can find the mouse. There it is. Okay. So you guys should be able to see my stuff there. So what I put up this week is called Find Your Bottleneck, and it's on the Move page that I sent you guys links to. From last week, we had Map My Business Sources, Map My Business, and that would go through and ask you questions. Andrew, did you go all the way through that?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's being able to map where your business comes from. Now we're going to be talking about what are the bottlenecks. So I'm going to put in here, and I'm actually going to show you exactly what I'm doing. Let me make sure that this is working on the other page. Okay, good. It did. So everybody online can see that, can see this window. So let me see what this is going to tell me here. I've got to do this from a weird angle, so I apologize. Summer, I apologize if I get in your way while we're doing this. Okay, so the AI said, good to meet you. 16 plus deals a year is real production, something to build on. What does a typical week actually look like for you right now? Where does most of your time go? I would say I spend about 2 to 3 hours per week in talking with my past clients, current listings, and my sphere. I've already typed.
Right, violating my AI rule,
How's that?
I think.
Oh, well, for this class, I'm going to do that. No, I didn't get that. Well, it's not built into the AI right now.
You didn't have to still on it.
No, this is a typer. And when you're not in those conversations, what's filling the rest of your week? I am. I like to do this because I know you like to brain dump, but I think about what I'm typing as I type it. So sometimes I'll erase it and go, no, that's not what I really meant. I'm the broker for 6 homes. So I spend about 3 to 5 hours a week collecting data and market data for our meeting and preparing for that. I'm just typing in just something so that we can see what it does. So between client conversations and broker prep, that's maybe 5 to 8 hours of structured time. What does the rest of the week look like? Are there hours that feel productive or does it get scattered? I try to be productive for about 10, well, not 20, 10 to 20, 10 to 12 hours per day, taking care of clients and agents. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there and just let it see what that's a full load when you're taking care of agents. And this could go on and it'll ask you the questions about what that's going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and show you what the feedback of the bottleneck looks like for me. And it's finding my bottleneck, and it's probably going to be time management, which I would guess is my thing.
You do like a, what's it, like Command Plus to make it a little bigger for everybody.
Okay, so this is what my bottleneck looks like. Let me see if it looks like on the video. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So most available weight appears to be absorbed by brokerage leadership and reactive agent support, which may be leading personal production, running on a relatively small slice of structured time. They describe 10 and 12 hours a day, but only 2 to 3 hours per week goes to personal client and sphere conversations. Another 3 to 5 hours for meeting prep. The remainder of that long workday is oriented towards taking care of agents, suggesting personal production is working in the margins rather than a protected block. And this says a short interview like this can't show whether the agent has a pipeline already in motion. Confidence, the time split between broker duties and personal production came up consistently across every answer, but we didn't go actually deep enough. And then my 30-day focus would be protect and slightly expand the personal production hours so that sphere and client conversations aren't the first thing squeezed when the broker day gets heavy. And then it gives me a fast action. Block 1 additional 45-minute slot, pick a day and time now dedicated only to outbound sphere calls, completely separate from broker prep or agent support. So that's what the AI was able to give me. And I'm sweating right now because I'm embarrassed to be in front of you like this, showing you the time that I do. If you guys go through this, I would appreciate it if you just I did it, and then give us an honest diagnosis of what did it feel true? Did it feel fake? Did you not go deep enough? What was your experience with that AI? Doing that's going to help us structure future moves to work on the problems that we actually have in the office. So I'd love for you guys to go do the move. I'm going to actually switch back now.
You sent this to us Monday? Is that what that is?
No, that was for last week, but the move changes every week. It's the same page. And then we've also built an archive on the move page. Let me just go back right now and I'll show you what I mean by that. If I can hit it and I refresh. It should be on there. I don't see the archive on there right now. I'll make sure the archive is on there. We're going to be archiving these, so if you miss one, you can always go back to the week before and use that particular guardrail AI. And then this one, and Jamie, I will get on the voice text today, I promise. Oh, it's okay. I tend to think better when I can type it out. I don't know why. When I'm brain dumping, I sound like this all the time, and it's stupid, and I feel goofy. So anyway,
Will you go back up?
huh?
Sorry, I'm just making sure.
Are you looking at something?
I'm making sure I'm on the right page. You are, okay.
Yeah, there's only this week, there's only this move right here. There should be an archive here, but I apologize, I didn't get that put in, but I'll get that put in. Probably up here at the top, I'll put it over to the right-hand side where it has the archive, where you can go back to the weeks before. the thought was, if Summer joins us, like if you were to come over and join our brokerage in August, well, then you've missed 5 weeks of this weekly move, and then you could go back and do those things individually by yourself on your time, and then kind of catch up to where we are mentally. That was kind of where I was going with that. Okay, so let me stop presenting that and go back to presenting what I was originally presenting. And that is the window here. Okay. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. Let me make that bigger.
Also, real quick, I just want to pause. Like this is really cool. Like Brian is making this every week with Crazy Machine.
It's kind of wild. So I just want to give you a high five.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to make it so that we can find the little bitty things that we can all do, because we all have the same business problems. We all work in our business so much, and we can all talk about that, you know, together and say, this is what's happening in this transaction. What do I need to do? You know, I can go to Slack for that. But when it comes to working on your business, that's where so many realtors fail, and where I failed for so many years until I still don't have it perfected. Don't get me wrong. But I know when to work on my business and when to work in my business. And that's the biggest thing that I want to show you guys.
Someone said timing.
Like,
Hey,
Yeah, I think at the end of the day,
well,
everyone has the problems.
and I think one of the biggest problems, and I've tried to learn to deviate, like separate the two, is agents are so responsive, where somebody taps in and says, hey, you know, title needs this, or a client says, hey, what about this? And they stop their working on their business and they jump back into their business instead of allocating time during the day to handle those
You ever reactive.
objectives.
Mhm.
You know, because that was like a huge thing with Mastermind,
Mhm.
where he would be like, if I called and said, hey, I need to talk to you about this, it would be like, you will get a phone call between 3 and 5. Because it wasn't an emergency, it was just like, you know, you need, you know, certain questions answered, whatever. So I think that's a huge problem in our production, is stopping to work on our business and to give instant gratification in the business to, you know, whoever we're serving.
and that's that's straight up my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to fix something. If one of y'all calls me, I'm going to do my dangest to get that fixed as soon as possible for you. And so that's me jumping off of working on 6th Ave and on Brian business and working in that business to make sure that you guys are taken care of. Because the way we look at it from the leadership is, you guys are our clients. We want to take care of y'all. That's our job. And so my time constraint is my biggest problem. Totally. Did y'all think there would be time for me? My biggest constraint? Did you think that going through, would that make sense?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Got a couple of angels. So, okay, I ran mine. So what I want you to do today is don't leave today trying to fix everything. If you get done with that exercise and you leave knowing it one thing that deserves your attention first, then that was worth the time that I put into it for me to build that. Here is, if you don't have the move, if you want to go straight to the page, you can do it too. And you can go right there and scan that and go through the bottleneck. It will be in the brokerage announcements and in Monday night's email. I'll leave it up till Tuesday next week, and then it'll be archived because the next move will be put in place. Your next breakthrough probably isn't waiting for more effort. It's waiting behind one constraint. So this week's move is identify the stage where you're losing the most momentum. Spend 10 minutes understanding why it's stalled. Then take one small action to unblock it. If you spend 10 minutes in the AI, just letting the AI ask you questions and answer truthfully, you probably will come up with 1 or 2 really good roadblocks that are affecting how you do your business. Finish the sentence after you get done, not right now, because you haven't done it yet. But finish the sentence. I thought my problem was this, but now I think it's this. This week I'm going to blank. That's it. That's all I got. So I hope that was good. I hope you guys will use it. And please go ahead and at the bottom of the move that it's got an I did it button. It's red. If you click that, it gives you an opportunity just to share. And you can, if you want to put your name, it's fine. It goes to one sheet that I'm the only person that sees it. If you leave it anonymous, I'm fine with that too. You don't have to put your name in there. But if you just tell me what your constraint is, what your roadblock is, what your bottleneck is, that helps me plan what we do in this mastermind for the fall. Because that's kind of what I'm thinking right now, is that the moves are going to influence what we do in the future. If we have, 5 people having the same roadblock, well, then let's figure out a way to get around that roadblock. Let's do that as a group and let's do it together. We already do that on Slack. All of us do that on Slack, where we get on there and say, I've got this problem, and Danielle or Taja or Jana or Ray will jump in and have a solution. So let's work on that together. And I think that gets us through the summer and into the fall really, really well. Are you guys liking this material? Is it interesting a little bit?
It's great.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the time to do it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It helps me too. I mean, I'm doing this for all of us. I'm spending the time doing this because I think that we all can benefit from this. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I mean, so many, every week I get NAR and Texas Realtors and all these AI classes. And I got one this morning that they're offering. It's $175. Learn how to use Claude. And I'm like, I don't know, it's been $175 when I can actually ask Claude the same question. That's kind of sounds redundant to me. So anything anybody would like to add? Anything that you got out of that, maybe, or maybe you'll get something out of it when you run the move later today. Okay, that's good.
I'll run it and then get back to you.
Let me know. Let me know if you like it, if you don't like it, and honestly, if the AI is wrong, that's okay. That proves that either you need to answer a little bit deeper, or it's not seeing the full training, but it should. That's the thing that Jamie and I have really come to understand. And we talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago, is AI is only as good as the context you give it. You have to give it the full context, or it doesn't know how to respond properly. If you give it a generic question, it's going to give you a generic answer. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for joining us online, everybody. Where's that, Patty, Angela, whoever else is here?
Thank you.
Is Rachel on? If Rachel's on. Hey, Rachel.
Hey,
Rachel.
yeah, here.
Guess who I talked to yesterday?
Was it Adriana?
Yes.
Yeah, she texted me.
Yeah. That's she's the Haswell, the house that I'm writing a contract on.
Yeah, that's.
Yes. Yeah, she's been in new home sales for a while, but I think she just maybe went over to that community. I don't know how long she's been there, but I was like, I need to bring you some buyers. So
Yeah. And honestly, I told her this, but that was honestly the best builder rep meeting that I've ever had in all my history. She did so much. She knew the product. She knew everything, every question we asked, she knew the answer to it. And I mean, I was thoroughly impressed with her and her
oh my
skills.
gosh, that is awesome. She's great. I love her.
Yeah, very cool. Thank y'all for being here. Bye, y'all.
Yeah, because I became a lot of the inside out house.
There's communities and I just can't go.
Just the negative.